Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Bitter Baker. Today we're baking out of a sense of sadness. My beloved Minnesota State Fair has been canceled due to COVID-19. There are so many things I love about the fair. I know I am the bitter baker. You wouldn't think I would enjoy these kinds of things, but I do. I love it. Watching people drop their cheese curds on the ground. The sounds of children crying because their brother is looking at them. Watching a woman in a down coat sculpt someone's face out of butter in August. Some of my favorite things. But my most favorite thing of all about the Minnesota State Fair is, of course, the llama costume contest. If you haven't checked out this event, it is absolutely one of the sweetest things you'll ever see at the Minnesota State Fair. And that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bake cookies today and decorate our llamas. So now I present to you our llama costume contest cookies. So to begin our llama cookie recipe, we're just gonna start with a very simple, basic sugar cookie recipe. I've already baked up some of the sugar cookies and let them cool, and we're going to decorate pretty quickly here. What we're gonna need is sifted powdered sugar, 4 cups. We're gonna need 3 tablespoons of meringue powder and about 6 tablespoons of water. We're gonna mix this in our electric mixer until it begins to form stiff peaks. This could take anywhere from 7 to 10 minutes, depending on the speed of your blender. As many of you probably know, the Minnesota State Fair does have an official mascot. His name is Fairchild, and he was introduced in 1966. And then in 1986, it was introduced that his nephew, Fairborn, would be joining him as a Minnesota State Fair mascot. So if it's his nephew, well, they never say anything about a Mrs. Fairchild, so Fairborn must be his sister's son? I don't know how mascots work. The first thing we're going to do, we are going to outline the outside of the entire cookie. And then we're going to take our royal icing in white that's a little thinner consistency, and we're going to flood the entire surface of the cookie, kind of like a hockey rink, like an ice skating rink. With a little poker, we're going to poke out any air holes that may have formed, and once you've got your cookie entirely iced, you're going to want to set it aside and let that set up for several hours. Probably even better to do it overnight if you can. Now, a personal favorite of this bitter baker at the Minnesota State Fair is, of course, the haunted house. I love haunted houses, and the best thing to do is to find someone who's never been to the haunted house, and right before you go inside, you tell them, don't be scared, don't worry, they can't touch you. They can totally touch you. It's hilarious. I remember one time there was this big tall Marine who was walking behind me. He got so freaked out walking through the haunted house that he grabbed my hand. I laughed. His wife didn't. So I'm gonna begin with the saddle. Now I goofed it up a little bit. That's what's nice about these little pokers. Kind of fix it. And now we're gonna flood it, just like we did with the other icing. All right, so now we're gonna do our eyeballs. The eyeballs are the cutest part. Now, some people just hand paint or decorate on their eyes. I'm not that talented, so I just bought some eyeballs from the store. I'm gonna use a little bit of my royal icing to adhere them onto my cookie. Now, one feature that's very popular at the Minnesota State Fair is the Miracle of Birth Center. If you're not familiar, the Miracle of Birth Center is where you can see live farm animals being born. Hard pass. It reminds me too much of my own pregnancy. Just like 30 people standing around eating corn dogs, looking at my bits. Granted, I didn't have very good insurance back then. And so now we're gonna put on some hair. He's a dapper llama. And once you're done embellishing with your sprinkles, you are done. And don't forget, join us and tune in next time when we make Carney caramels. Caramels?
You only made one cookie. What are you gonna do with the rest of that frosting?